Now, does he say that he will rapture the wheat away 7 years before the weeds? No, he doesn't say that. He says, let both grow together until the harvest. Harvest is on the last day. And at harvest time, I will tell the reapers, gather the weeds first and bind them in the bundles to be burned, but then gather the wheat into my barn. So we grow together until harvest day, on the last day. Do we see this harvest analogy anywhere else? Yes, we do. Matthew 3:12 or Luke 3:17 if you prefer. His winnowing fork is in his hand to clear the threshing floor and to gather the wheat into his barn, but he will burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. Now, this imagery is duplicated in Revelation 14. Read the whole chapter, but we're just going to do verse 15 and 16. Then another angel came out of the temple and called in a loud voice to him who was sitting on the cloud, take your sickle and reap, because the time to reap has come, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. So he who was seated on the cloud swung his sickle over the earth, and the earth was harvested. If you don't like plants, you prefer livestock, we get the same thing. Matthew 25, 31 to 32. It says, when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. Before him will be gathered all the nations, and he will separate people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. So there's clearly one judgment day, with one general resurrection of everyone on the last day. Those that are destined for Jesus' kingdom, and those that are doomed for eternal perdition. Now, if the analogies are unclear, we'll just speak straight. We'll get rid of all this farm talk, and we'll just talk straight. Daniel 12, verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. John chapter 5. Marvel not at this, for the hour cometh in which all that are in the tombs shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of judgment. And Acts 24:15. Having hope toward God, which these also themselves look for, that they shall be a resurrection both of the just and the unjust. So there you have it. One general resurrection and judgment on the last day. So dispense with any nonsense you hear in pop culture today about different resurrections and different judgments, with one that's imminent, another that's 7 years after that, another that's 1,000 years after that. There's actually a couple other ones I left out here. There is one great throne judgment. Now, if you think I'm off base, I'm going to do what I always do and say, tag, Jesus, you're in. Verse 36. Then he left the crowds and went into the house, and his disciples came to him, saying, explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field. And Jesus answered them, the one who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed is the sons of the kingdom. The weeds are the sons of the evil one, and the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are the angels. Just as the weeds are gathered and burned with fire, so it will be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all causes of sin and all lawbreakers, and throw them into the fiery furnace. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of the Father. He who has ears, let him hear.